Bobby Darin, we have a show that you're definitely going to want to see. He's one of my favorites because not only was he one of the best crooners around, but his story is really cool as well, and kind of sad at the end, believe it or not. Chaz Esposito loves Bobby Darin just as much. He's put together, I shouldn't say one of, he is the high energy show in which Mack is Back, the story of Bobby Darin and friends.
And more.
And more. It's a big high-energy show celebrating the repertoire of Grammy Award winner, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame member, singer, songwriter Bobby Darin. Nice to have you here.
Great to be
and
with
he
you, man.
did, and you think about, okay, Beyond the Sea, Mack the Knife, Splish Splash.
Dream Lover.
Oh, Dream Lover. He did so much more than that.
Oh, yeah. It was an amazing artist, a publisher, producer, actor.
Yeah. Because back then you had to kind of do everything.
Had to do it all.
Yeah, I remember he hosted a variety show back in the late 60s. All of this
That's
because,
right.
and again, what a life. He wasn't even supposed to live past a couple of years old.
Right. He heard, well, at 14, he had rheumatic heart fever, and he probably wouldn't make it to 16, 17. And that's the premise of his music. When a lot of people listened to Darin, they said, oh, he sang, Teen Idol stuff, and then he sang big band, then he did
Right.
He said, in interviews, you have a lot of time. I don't have time. I'm not supposed to be here. So, and his management would get frustrated with him, like, now you're skipping to country music. And he's like,
Right.
I do what I want to do when I want to do it because time is not on my side.
Neil Young once said in an '88 Rolling Stone interview, I used to be ticked off, I'm paraphrasing, at Bobby Darin because he changed style so much. Now I look at him and I think he was a genius.
He was a genius.
Yeah,
he was a total genius.
Yeah.
Couldn't read a note of music.
Right.
Wrote over 180 songs.
We're showing us pictures of him right now. You can see him with all the other teen idols.
We sing those
Fabian,
guys.
Bobby Rydell. There's
Sandra Dee, his wife.
His wife for a little bit. Now let's talk about you for a second. How did you fall in love with with Bobby Darin?
I did it as a kid. I just started listening to him, and then as I got into a music career and a producing career, I just fell more and more in love with it and involved with it until I eventually got involved and did an off-Broadway show called Mack the Knife, and I played him.
And I mean, there's a difference between being a fan and thinking you could sing his songs in a car, and going on stage and doing this.
Yeah,
What's it take?
It took the approval of the Bobby Darin estate, which was a huge achievement. And that was a tough wall to get through. It was phenomenal to play him every night.
Right.
8 shows a week for weeks and months, and always with a big band. Even this show we're doing at the Kate, 12 pieces. You have to replicate that music. So we carry a big band.
Well, let's talk about that because this is a different kind of show. This is not Mack is Back where you're playing Bobby Darin. You're playing you and your affinity for him.
Correct. My stories and my jokes and how I pick these songs and how they relate to Darin, whether he wrote them or he published them or he produced them or he worked with many people. When we talk about it, he did have a feud with Frank Sinatra, and so we talk about that during the show, and then we do a couple of Sinatra songs. So,
are there parts of his life, his music, that when people leave your show, we'll get to when that show is going to be in just a moment, that people go, oh man, that really puts a whole new layer on Bobby Darin?
I think the high energy does, but most of the time we do his live version of Ira Carpenter, and most people are like, you were talking off-set. I didn't know that was Bobby Darin who sang If I Was Carpenter. Because he could...
Protest songs of the late 60s.
Protest songs, we do
that's not
Song of Freedom.
That's not Splish Splash.
That is not. And he wrote them, and he sang them, and he did them great. He sang folk song as good as Bob Dylan. So I think people walk out with, one, the high energy, the big band, and wow, this guy was an entertainer.
Absolutely. Put the information up on the screen so we can tell you where to see Chaz play Bobby Darin. It's over at the Kate down in Old Saybrook, which is one of my favorite places. It's so sweet.
Great theater.
November 14th, we have tickets that we'll link to you over at fox61.com. We should also point out, and this is, whatever happened to Bobby, he died in '73. The story that nobody knows, or not a lot of people know, I should say, is he was born, his mother was very young.
Correct.
And back in the days when you were a teenager who had a child out of wedlock, you just went from one side of New York City to the other side, and nobody knew you started
over. He went from
over.
Harlem to the Bronx, and his grandmother raised him as his mother.
And his mother was his older sister. And the story goes that when he discovered this, he died,
Well,
and died of a broken heart.
Right. Think of anybody. Think of going 32 years of your life and all at once finding out, well, that wasn't your mother. I mean, it really took a toll on him. But a phenomenal artist, as you said, a genius, and it's an honor to get out there. We have a few seats left. If you want to see a show that we really, one of the greatest bands around, we perform it for you.
Chaz Esposito, break a leg.
Matt Scott,
I
thank
love
you.
That.